Premiere cards. I think this is for their annual line. And I'm just going to be doing a demo, or just you're going to be along for the ride while I put my chicken scratch down. Well, so I will get started here momentarily. I'm also going live on Facebook, so you can be sure to follow me on Facebook as well. Bulls watches King Southpaw, where I watch on the left side, so it's been fun. Just closer where you can see. A lot of times my students ask me, Mr. James, Marvel or DC? And I've always been a Marvel guy. I mean, who doesn't love Batman? But after that, I'm not a DC guy. In fact, my favorite character besides Juice Man isn't a Marvel character at all. It's Savage Dragon done by Eric Larson, which I've been very blessed to have worked with him on occasion. Once these cards are done, they will be put in random packs of Upper Deck. I don't know if they're Marvel Premiere or what, if they're just called Marvel Annual. I put down some basic ink work or line before I go in with watercolor. Thor is one of my favorite. I'm going to say I really enjoy Thor and the Hulk. Also Spidey. of my favorite Marvel movies is Thor Ragnarok. Let's see. Sorry to keep moving the camera on you. Let's see. I'm drawing the very little bit bottom corner. We get a couple of these guys inked, and then I'll start slapping down some watercolor. I've used marker on these, and I like watercolor. Sometimes the paper that they give me card-wise really works. Other times, it's not the greatest. But I like the effect that the watercolor has. And I give myself just a basic little outline because I'll let the color do most of the work. One of my favorite incarnations of Storm from the X-Men was back when John Romita Jr. drew her in the 80s. She had the mohawk, and she was just badass. She had no powers back then. And she was just tough. And there was an issue because I used to collect. X-Men was my jam, my book. But there, I think it was issue 200 where she battles Cyclops for leadership of the X-Men, and she has no powers, and he does, and she just outsmarts him and wins leadership of the X-Men, mohawk and all. Of course, my oven mitts are covering. I think these have got a due date in March. I'm given like 3 or 4 artist proofs per set that I do for Upper Deck. We got 2 of them already called for. If you're interested in artist proof with my drawing on it, just drop me a DM. I'm doing a rogue who's absorbed the powers of Cyclops, where she's using his optic blast. That's one of them. Another one is a playoff of my Savage Dragon cover. They want. I did a Savage Dragon 266 cover where I've got Maxine pulling on the top of her suit, and Malcolm is running out there trying to stop her. What are you doing? And she's, I'm selling your book. And that was a popular cover I did. So I get requested to redo that one a lot. So I'm doing that one with Maxine turning into Mystique from the X-Men. So these cards are fueled by Dave Matthews Band and copious amounts of coffee. Now here I just took a minute. I roughed in kind of what I wanted. She wore a black vest and a spiked collar. I just wanted to give a rough, bring that a little bit better together. And these are loose. They're not hyper detailed like, you know, my Juice Man comic or my concert posters that I do. There we go. That's ready to go as well. Ghost Rider. If anybody's watching this live on Facebook, I'm sorry. I've got 2 platforms going. I've got it going live on my YouTube channel, Scott James Art, and here on Facebook. So if you're here on Facebook watching live, welcome. If not, you should be, darn it. So continuing just to plug away on these little details. All right. Some of this will be left for color when I go in with the watercolor. That's why I just do minimal. Minimal lines. No. I'm really finding it hard not to sing. I tend to sing while I work in my studio by myself, and trust me, no one wants to hear that. I'm a firm believer art and music go hand in hand. It helps get you into that creative space. At least I find it. That's probably part of the reason why I create so many concert posters is I just thoroughly enjoy music and the symbiotic relationship I think they have, art and music. Teeth left to do quick. Ghost Rider. I think this Black Panther will be the last one before I start slapping some paint down. I thought the first Black Panther was really good. I could have done so much more, I think. You know, we're doing the watercolor. All right. Sorry, Union Brick must have copious amounts of coffee. All right. Red in the cheek. The thing with watercolor is you have to be patient. I used to hate watercolor. I wasn't patient. I wanted, and that control thing, always wanted to have more control. Well, with patience comes control. Just like with great power comes, with great power comes responsibility, whatever Uncle Ben said. Good old Goldilocks here. I'm going with some white to add highlights and it's just building up light layers. This paper is taking the watercolor quite nicely. And add the backgrounds. These will just pop so much more. Let's see. This thing is, I can take up some of the paint if I didn't like. Now this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm not going to focus on the figure right away. I'm going to focus more on the background. Because the Silver Surfer, which is a character that up until late, we have not been able to touch. Meaning we couldn't, they didn't want us doing any Silver Surfer. And the cards are Fantastic Four.